What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be reacting to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So, without further ado, let's get into this thing. I'm really liking that melody right there, that theme, that just mellowness in the strings there. Like, it feels like it's been processed through a lot of synths and a little bit of like electronic. It feels like it's a mixture of two. But the opening was so fascinating, and we see Jesper Kid is returned as well. Obviously, he created the family theme for Ezio. Um, but this theme here for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it does represent Norse mythology. But like the kind of the Viking instrumentation here, the dum dum dum, the beat of that as well. And then we get the but it's so mellowed out in the tone. It's really good. It's probably been sent through a lot of synth softwares. Um, and they've probably sampled it and messed with it, manipulated a bit of the audio as well to get that mellowness. But the trueness of the Viking sound is there. The Viking sound is so there. It's so rich as well. We're building up again. So now it turns cinematic, but that vocal there was a little bit of like the transitioning into this next kind of act then of this soundtrack. It does seem as well like a lot of people worked on this. Like, it's so rich in the tone. We can, as aspiring composers, we can learn a lot from this soundtrack. I know the game was received quite mixed and had a lot of some interesting things saying about it, but we're just judging this soundtrack. It does represent Norse, Viking, and the era in which this game was based on. But not only that, through the hearing the vocals as well, just the tonality of it just fits so well. But there's a certain kind of heartbreak. this sound a kind of sense of longing and loss. Like, it's quite mellow, it's quite sad, it's not upbeat. Kind of the other Assassin's Creed, like, it's just being quite cinematic and quite epic and quite action adventure. But this is like, no, it's something has happened here. So now you got I think it's like either a staccato, maybe string, violin, do, 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 playing off in the background. Now it's just building that tension, building this grandiose theme. This is why this is why I love scores and just soundtracks from games and movies, but mainly games, because we get stuff like this and it's so epic. I was waiting, Vikings and matches and kind of anthems they would play as they're preparing for war and stuff like that. And they still do it to this day, but it kind of came from the Vikings of like when you're marching to war, you would sing. I was waiting for kind of this to kick in and taking a bit of inspiration from them, incorporating into, this whole Norse mythology angle that this game tackled. And right now, and right here, they do. And they do quite well. And it doesn't become forced or whatever. It's so rich. And it's in tune as well with the drums. And we get the violin kicking in, and it just builds that tension to where it fits, to where having a kind of marching band or stuff like that, it just fits. And it just gets louder. It just gets louder. And as you're like, yeah, give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more, it just cuts off and then it plays out. And that's such a great soundtrack right there. 10 out of 10 already. But let's play it through. Sorry as well, the tension, just absolutely perfect. What a massive soundtrack. A 10 out of 10. Just a 10 out of 10. Also, I just want to kind of make a little bit of a different thing, but the emblem of Assassin's Creed in Valhalla is one of like the top 10 albums, like the axes, you know, making up for the logo is such a great like design. So shout out to whoever came up with that at a Ubisoft. Like, I want that tattooed on my body. It's just look at it. I don't care. But what a 10 out of 10 score. Talk about build up, talk about grandiose, talk about action, talk about the Viking way and the Viking spirit through the sound, through the instruments being used. But ladies and gentlemen, that is my opinion on this soundtrack. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Assassin's Creed Valhalla main theme.